I'm really excited to be involved in this project with you for you guys today, just to kind of see, there's lots of goals, but one of the main goals of our project is to see if a 100-year-old book, this is the trilogy here in a big volume, if a 100-year-old book is still enjoyable by people your age. So I brought a couple of your guys' surveys, and we'll see what you guys said. So I have
you'll see Edgar Rice Burroughs' influence in so many things, like when you watch Star Wars. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and Jim Cameron, all these big directors, they read these books when they were kids, and they were influenced. Avatar, you'll see a lot of John Carter in Avatar with the six-legged beasts and stuff. Flash Gordon back in the black and white days.
For me, like, I can instantly imagine what he's talking about because he just like describes everything, like the people and the landscape. Like, I remember when he first went there, he was describing about how he was laying on this kind of like yellow moss, and I can just picture where he is.
Just, you know, what I found was that there were some other authors who were known to write a very good, intricate sort of story about another place, but I would get bored, not bored, but bogged down in the description. The description would be like, all right already, come on, let's get on with the story. With Burroughs, I never felt that. I never felt like it was just, he was feeding me this information, and eventually I could draw a map of Barsoom, and I knew all the different characters in different places, but it all happened sort of effortlessly.
We're saying, you know, he couldn't get his book published. It was just in a magazine. He couldn't get people to take him seriously. Yet, people gobble these books up. They can't stop reading. So what my goals are is to, you know, maybe if a kid reads a John Carter book, maybe that will give them confidence and say, I can read another book.
Did you like the book?
I'm not finished yet.
How far have you gotten into it?
I'm on chapter 8, I think.
Oh yeah? Okay. It kind of really gets going around chapter 3. Right? So you're getting into the good part. But he hasn't met Dejah Thoris yet, has he? Well, see, that's when it's going to get a lot better. So, hey. You like the book?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
What did you like about it that was different than what you were expecting?
I liked the detail, and I liked the way he wrote it to where it felt like somebody was just like talking to me, like telling me the story of his life and not just like a book. Like it felt like a story.
Do you think that helped in terms of the language, the fact that it was the guy talking to you?
Yeah, I liked it because it was easier to like understand the story than it would be just like them telling it. Like it's, you know, like it felt like he was just sitting there telling me the story of his life.
Were you expecting to like the book?
Not really. I mean, I thought it might be kind of cool, but I'm like, okay, I'll do it anyways. But I actually really liked it.
You going to read the next one?
Yeah, I am, for sure. I thought it was cool because, like, even though it was so old, it's like still like interesting nowadays. And I also like that, like, it inspired a lot of other stuff. Like, I just thought like Disney Tarzan was Disney Tarzan. I'm like, okay, and I didn't know anything about that. And then also like the Star Wars thing was cool. He was kind of, you know, like that got inspired by that. So I thought that was cool. But I had no idea. I didn't even know who he was.
What do you think of Dejah Thoris?
I like her a lot.
Do you think she's a strong character?
Yeah, definitely.
By today's standards?
Yeah. I thought it was cool because she wasn't like so strong to where it was like overpowering, but she was like compassionate and like sweet too. But she was still strong at the same time.
What about Sola?
I liked her too. She was so like motherly and sweet.
You think that these are normally thought of as boys' books, and yet there's something in it for girls too. How do you feel about that?
I think it because obviously it has the romance part, and I think girls like that. But personally, I just like the like guy character in it. Like he's so like, you know, like he is into the war too, but he's also just like sweet and compassionate.
Those are really good books. I would not have guessed that they were like written 100 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds exactly like my favorite book series is like Aragon, Eldest Brissinger Inheritance. It's like written in the exact same style as those. It's ridiculous.
What was your expectation about the book?
Originally, when I was told about the book, I was told that it was like 100 years old. It was over 100 years old. And I've read other books like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff like that, and a lot of John Steinbeck. And even though John Steinbeck was actually more recent, like within like 1968, somewhere around there, I thought that was kind of boring. So when I was going into this, I was like, you know, this is way older. That's like 2 times older. It's going to be horrible.
And what did you? And as you actually got a chance to read it, did it surprise you?
Well, when I got a chance to read it, I found that it wasn't as old. Like the language wasn't as old as I thought it would be. It was modern. I felt like people my age could actually understand it, and I was surprised by just the way he spoke, the way he described things, I was thinking it would be totally different. Like you could instantly tell. But I mean, it could pass as a modern book.
How does it? What modern books do you like to read?
I've read the Twilight series. I've read the Hunger Games. I really like those. Those are like the Hunger Games is like my favorite. Also, the Inkheart series was a really good series.
How does the characters and the story in this, when you compare it to something like the Hunger Games or like Twilight? I mean, it's hard to compare because they're really kind of different. But is there any way to compare them?
There really is no way to compare the characters. The characters are just completely different. They're kind of unique, you know, in which the way they are physically and the way they are kind of in their behavior.
Beginning to read the book, was there a point in the reading where you went, okay, I really like this? Or was it like from the beginning or after a few chapters? When did it start feeling good for you?
I started really getting into the book when he started learning the language and became friends with Sola and just got the feel of all the Martians and all that. It just felt like he belonged and it just started to flow right.
Now, what other books have you reading lately? What are some of your favorite books?
I just finished a different series that Rick Riordan had just wrote. I like the Hunger Games that I read a few times.
Having read the book, what do you think about seeing the movie? Are you interested in seeing the movie?
I'm very interested to see the movie. I'm excited. I think it would be great. Like, it just would be perfect. And I'm excited. Maybe Edgar Rice's books will get more publicity again, and people will love his books as much as they used to.